All right. Good morning, everybody. So excited to have you all on with me this morning. You guys, we are going to hear from 4 different people about what their Thrive experiences are, the first few days of their Thrive experience. Super excited to be able to offer this to you guys. We kind of found a new thing with Facebook Lives, and we're super excited to share with you. We are going to hear about what these simple 3 steps done first thing in the morning on an empty stomach is all about. 1 or 2 capsules with water as soon as we wake up in the morning. 30 minutes later, we're going to drink this ultra micronized lifestyle mix. And then we're going to put this DFT on, Dermafusion technology. 3 steps, bam, you're done for the day, done within your first 30 to 40 minutes. So we're going to hear from myself and 3 other people about their Thrive experience. I'm so excited about it, you guys. And I love the reach that Facebook has. If you could just drop in the comments what state you're tuning in from, that would be awesome. We just love to see where people are listening from. So I am Tiffany Wagner. What I noticed my first day of my Thrive experience, honestly, the simplicity, I love that. I felt like I got a few more things done during the day, and I didn't fall asleep at 8:30 at night like I normally did after I got the kids to bed. Was actually able to stay up later and get some things done. So that was my day 1. By day 3, I was sleeping through the night for the first time in more than 12 years since I had first become a mom. It was at that point I knew Thrive was really, working for me and doing something. Really, my first 2 weeks were a lot of that, just sleeping great, feeling great, having more energy, definitely happier and more patience with my husband and kids. But it was day 14 that I knew I was going to be a thriver for life. That's when my digestion kicked in, and started having regular digestion. And you guys, honestly, that changed everything for me. Seriously, everything. It was just amazing. When your digestive system, when your gut health is right, all the other things that it benefits. So that really is what my first 2 weeks look like, on my Thrive experience. And, as I'm kind of chatting here, I'm going to bring my husband on. You guys are going to love hearing from Dustin and hearing how different our Thrive experiences are. That's what I love about these. To see that. Hello, dear. We are on
Hey, babe.
opposite ends of the house.
We
Go
are, we
ahead.
are. Well, thanks for having me on. I'm going to share my first couple weeks on product. Obviously, just heard hers and how the simplicity works. And tell you guys, that was like the first thing I noticed. I'm a guy, concrete guy. I can take these 3 products in the morning before my day got rolling. That's huge for me. That first day, I noticed that simplicity, just like she said. And what I really loved is I put it to the test. Skeptical guy, us guys are a little skeptical. I put it to the test right away. I was a soda drinker, a Rockstar energy drinker, those kinds of things to get me through my day. And I need to squeeze as much out of my day as possible. That first day, I didn't use any of those. I had no soda, no energy drinks. And I noticed a smooth energy all day. It wasn't a crank it way up and slam me way down type deal, just smooth, clean energy. After my first couple days on product, I was still noticing that smooth energy. I'm like, hey, this would be a great thing to replace those energy drinks. It's a lot healthier for me. So I was excited about that. But I also noticed my mental clarity was there. I actually used to joke around a little bit when people asked me what Thrive did for me, and I'd say, hey, have you ever watched Karate Kid? Mr. Miyagi with the chopsticks, and he can catch that fly with the chopsticks. That's kind of what I felt like. I had this great mental clarity. So those are what I noticed the first couple days, but 2 weeks in was magic for me. That was when these hands, I started being able to use them again. And I had what I called concrete hands. Any of those guys that, swing a hammer for a living, are mechanics, working concrete, the physical labor stuff, they probably know what I'm talking about. You start losing your dexterity in your hands. They just don't work as well. I used to have a hard time zipping my son's coat up. He was 2 years old at the time, just those fine motor skills. And my hands started moving freer and more flexible. And same with the rest of my joints in my body. And that was when I knew I was going to be a thriver. Once I realized it was more than just energy, was when I started getting that joint support. So thanks for having me on and letting me share those couple things.
Multiple guests on, so we don't know exactly how that's going to work. Hi,
Good morning.
thank you
It
for
froze for
joining
some
me.
reason.
So
Yeah,
weird.
I'm excited to be on. Yeah. You
Let's
never know
hear
with
it. What?
technology.
What did you notice in your first 2 weeks thriving?
Oh my gosh. Love going back to here because it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Day one, took my capsules, hopped into the shower. By the time I hopped into the shower, I noticed that like everything was brighter. And I thought my husband had changed the light bulb. So I was like, I didn't pay much attention to it. But now going back, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is how people are feeling. They're actually like seeing brightly because I was in such a mental fog. So that was really awesome. It was a Monday morning. I mean, I went to work with a pep in my step and all these kinds of things. I thought, I was just having a good Monday because, of course, I was still a little skeptical, but man, that kept continuing on through like, day three. I was noticing I wasn't reaching for my caffeine. I was just like, no, I got this. I'm going to chug my water and I feel great. And just crushing through the days, but more importantly, having energy when I came home at night. Because, working full time and running to every ball field, every single thing that was out there. I mean, we were busy people, and I just to still have energy and not be cranky to my family was huge. And then, all those things kept happening. And then I noticed that I was actually like, we'd order out for lunch. I was like, hey, get me a salad instead of like, oh, I should have a salad because I'm trying to be healthy. I was like, give me all that stuff. I was craving the water. I was craving the good foods instead of I love that I could still have them. But I was like, that was where I was at. And then the sleep started happening where I was like getting up before my alarm clock and not hitting the snooze. And that was a huge thing for me because, man, my mornings did not start off well because we were always going behind time and everything. And all those things kept happening. And I just could barely wait to get up in the morning to take my 3 steps to see what could happen. And that was about the time I was like, okay, I'm not skeptical. These products are definitely doing something.
Sure.
So
Sure.
that's my first couple of weeks on Thrive. It was awesome. Awesome. And still loving it here. Same things.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
3 steps.
I love it. Awesome. Well, thanks for hopping on with me, Lanny.
Yes, thank you.
You guys, I just love how everybody's experience is a little. So
Yay!
there's Megan. Hi, good
It
morning.
worked! Yay! Good
Yay!
morning.
A brand new thing that we're trying here. So we got to work out the
Right?
kinks a little bit, but we got it. I love it.
It worked. I love it.
Yes. I'd love to hear your Thrive experience the first couple weeks.
Right? Okay. Well, I loved hearing these 2 stories because mine is a little bit different. They're so positive. I started Thrive as a huge supplement skeptic. So day one for me was, I took those 2 capsules, I drank the mix, and I put on the little sticker, and I thought, I've been around this bush before. We'll see. I've done everything. I have it all in the cupboard. But what was different was I wasn't supposed to add any caffeine. So I was going to skip my coffee, skip my energy shot, skip everything I had been used to for so many years. And on day one, I realized I didn't have a terrible, terrible headache by the end of the day. That was weird. Normally, when I tried to, shift everything in my life, I would be like taken down by those. So that was good. I thought, okay, fine, we'll see. By day 3, this was really weird, but by day 3, I realized that I had picked up my kids after a long day of teaching. And if you're a teacher, teacher tired is like nothing else. A long day of teaching, I came home, and instead of rolling on the couch and saying, play amongst yourselves, mom has some time, I actually was sitting and playing on the carpet with my little guy. And sometimes I say to people, like, look at your carpet and think about when's the last time you sat crisscross applesauce and played Legos with your little guy? Like, that wasn't happening in my life. And all of a sudden I looked around like, that's weird. I'm not napping. And I'm looking him in the eye. By day 10, I realized that I hadn't napped. I hadn't crashed from not having all that caffeine. I was sleeping through the night because I wasn't napping. I was still getting my workouts in. Eating healthy was a little bit easier. I had lost 80 pounds when I was in college, and I worked every day to keep my weight where it was. It was a little bit easier in those 10 days. And the biggest one for me was patience. I realized that that level of kind of like, ooh, that I always got with my own kids kind of disappeared. Like we were singing on the way to daycare in the morning. I was asking them how their day went at dinner instead of feeling agitated and just trying to get them to bed. And that's when I was like, okay, all right, this might be different than every other thing I've taken. And it sold me. So that's my first 10 days.
That's amazing. I love how everybody's is just a little different. We all, notice something, but just kind of in a different order and a little bit different. So thank you for popping
Thanks
on
for
with us,
having me.
Megan. So awesome. All right. There you have it. 4 different Thrive experiences in the first 10 to 14 days. Everyone a little bit different, and that's what we always tell people. But we know that if you take it correctly and take it consistently, you are going to start noticing some changes. So don't forget to just drop a little comment of where you're tuning in from. We love to see where we're reaching people on Facebook. And if you have any questions about Thrive, if you're on the fence or just unsure about something, reach out to one of us or whoever it was that sent you to this video today. Super excited to hear what your Thrive experience is going to be.